Hello everyone, Rush here. Welcome back to the channel, hope you're all having a great day. Today for this video, I decided to do something different. I decided to do a 5-minute versus 15-minute versus 50-minute edit challenge to really challenge myself. I mean, it's called a challenge for a reason, and to see if I could do well in creating edits in these specific time frames. Suffice to say, the results surprised even me. I mean, just watch the video and you'll find out. But without further ado, let's get into the editing. The first time frame I was doing was 5 minutes, the shortest time frame. I knew that I had to manage my time well and get things done. After starting the timer, the first thing I did was import the clips I was going to use in the video, or the edit, into CapCut. Next, I found the music I was going to use for the edit. I was looking for some Brazilian Phonk I'd seen previously on here, and I was hoping that my edit would be similar to an older edit I'd done that also used Titans. I'll do a comparison between the two edits later in the video. After adding the music, I used the AI beat function to figure out where all the drops would be so I could know where to place the transitions and the new video clips. I scrolled through the beats to find the best place where I wanted to insert the drop, and once I found it, I began looking for the next clip. The clip I decided to end up using was the Horus Heresy cinematic clip. When I was moving through some of my older footage, I realized I hadn't adjusted the ratios and set about doing that. I pulled the timer up and saw that I only had 3 minutes remaining. I've put this next part in 2 times speed because it's just a whole lot of me finicking around and trying to figure out which transitions I want to use and how best to utilize the beat drop. I knew that I didn't have a lot of time to work with, and so I needed to be smart and make something at least semi-decent, so I used a black and white filter at the very beginning to ensure that I would have, some sort of decent transition to something different. I pulled up the timer again and saw I only had, roughly 30 seconds remaining, and I was stressing. I needed to get some transition in here, otherwise I really wouldn't have much to show for my 5 minutes of work. Coming up on just 10 seconds left, and I thought that I just needed to crop out the rest of the stuff, so I had a clean ending and do some fade outs, and by the time I put up the timer again, that was it. Here is the comparison of the 2 edits that I made. The first edit will be the old one I did. You can see it on my YouTube channel, and the second one is obviously the one I just did in 5 minutes. Here you go.
Direto do Supremo. DJ Tenebroso.
Honestly, I was really happy with my 5-minute edit. Even though I didn't have a lot to show, I was happy because in 5 minutes, I managed to pull off a really clean transition, and those filters came out looking really nice. But without further ado, on to the 15-minute edit. For this 15-minute edit, I want to do something different. I was trying to go for lots of different clips, switching between them really fast. Kind of just super fast, super intense, really good stuff. Space Marine 2, using the Space Marine 2 clips, that sort of stuff. Now, 2 minutes in here, and I didn't really have a lot to show. I only just got on my media in, and I thought with 15 minutes of time, I was going to be able to have a lot more to work with. But I was soon to find out that 15 minutes of time was a lot shorter than it sounded, and I didn't really manage my time that well for this 15-minute edit. Already 6 minutes in, and I was only just beginning to do my work on the first few transitions and the beat drop. I was using the speed up function and trying to position nicely around that AI beat function to get a really clean effect, but after playing it back, it was too fast to really appreciate the details, and I wasn't really happy with it. More than halfway and I just began to add my second clip, trying to make that beat drop work as best as possible. I was fiddling around trying to figure out how I could get the right portion of the clip to be at the beat drop, and I was kind of starting to waste a bit of time, but eventually once I figured it out, I could move on to the more important things like adding filters and later transitions. Sorry if my voice sounded a bit robotic back there. I've just had to do this voiceover because my commentary at the time, I was stressing out, and suffice to say my commentary was pretty bad. But back to the task at hand. As I was adding some new transitions and clips, I realized that, the transitions were super bad, and as soon as I put them in and played the footage, I immediately had to take them out again, wasting a good minute of my time replacing those transitions. As I played it back, I was sort of satisfied, but at the moment, 2/3 of my edit was just the intro, and well, I needed to do something about that. At the 13-minute mark, I didn't have a lot to show for the amount of time I wasted so far. I'd only had a few more places to add transitions to, and my filters, well, they were kind of lackluster at best. And suffice to say, I gotta stop saying suffice to say, I was stressing out. For this final stretch, I really put the pedal to the metal and began speeding through adding fade outs and adjusting all my transitions and filters. In the last few minutes, I decided to just jiggle around some clips and try and reduce the time of the intro, but that wasn't very successful. I threw in a few video effects to try and spice up the transition to the beat drop, but to be honest, it didn't really work that well. After all that effort, here's the 15-minute edit. It's not very good, but it is what it is. Yeah, definitely not my best work, but I decided to just shake off the loss and really put my best foot forward with this 50-minute edit. I knew that I was going to do something spectacular for this one. In all my previous edits, the intros have been really lackluster, so I wanted to do something cool and interesting for the intro of this edit. I decided to take my time and conceptualize, focusing on doing something cool. Obviously, I've sped up these clips here because all of this stuff is just stuff that you've already seen in these previous 2 edits that I've edited. To spice up this intro, I decided to add these Warhammer helmet PNGs and do a little bit of filter and color change on them, and give them a bit of a swinging motion effect as well, just to make the intro really something to enjoy. After doing the intro, I did the rest of the edit, focusing on a few good transitions, not really trying to overload it or do anything over ambitious for the time frame. Next thing I decided to do was allocate a bit of time to working on the filters and the transitions. I really wanted these to all come across as clean and interesting, so I focused on getting some good effects down and adjusting them until they were just how I liked it. In the last 15 minutes or so, I realized I needed to speed up my work. I did a little bit of AI motion tracking here, but I decided I didn't like it and just got rid of it. I realized that I needed more adjustments because my final edit clips just didn't look that interesting, so I used some color adjustment to make everything kind of pop out a bit better. Next, I was focusing on adding a pendulum effect to the other clips to add this really cool sliding movement thing to the whole edit. You'll see in a minute when I show you the final edit, but it was definitely worth doing. In the final 10-minute stretch, I was really happy with my edit. I was satisfied with how it looked and how the intro was working out. I added a few more transitions into one of those Warhammer helmet PNGs just to juice up that final part. And well, before I knew it, the time was up. So, here's the final edit. I hope you guys enjoy. Well, that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed because I know that I had a lot of fun making this video, and even if this doesn't do well, I know that I had a great learning experience and I was able to really work on my time management skills. But that's all boring stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed and see you guys next time.